headed in that direction even before it started, my friend. And if you don't mind, I'd like to put a break here so that I can share these uh, with people, these sections. And so we'll continue on. And in this passage here, in First Peter, we have that unfortunate relationships in which there is a saved wife and an unsaved husband. Apparently, the wife became a Christian after they had married. See, told you. Is she to change after her conversion and become a sort of female preacher in the home in order to lecture her husband and to present the gospel to him? No, she is to continue on in the same position of being in subjection to him. To be in subjection means to submit yourself. This is a voluntary step, it is not a command. The wife is to continue on in this relationship of voluntarily being the in subjection, letting her husband, though unsaved, continue to be the head of the house. Suppose, however, that her husband wants her to go with him to the nightclub and drink cocktails. If she is she to do that? I would hope that even those most rabid folk who say that she should obey her husband would agree that she should not do such things. However, there are those who are giving that kind of counsel today. A lady who attended my church when I was a pastor in downtown Los Angeles, this is J. Vernon McGee. I'm reading through the Bible by J. Vernon McGee, so it's McGee and not me, had an unsaved husband who wanted her to go to a nightclub. I guess I would have, instead of the Waycast, I should have named this playlist McGee and not me, which apparently was a sort of burlesque. Some evangelists had counseled her that she was to obey her husband even in this, and so she went. It ordered her uh, it offended her sensibilities, and she was under great conviction about it. She actually came to the place where a doctor told her that she would have to enter an institution for psychotherapy, thera- psychopathic treatment because she could not go on under that type of pressure. Well, she heard me speak on the radio, and it was evident that I had a little different idea about it. When she came to talk to me, I told her that I do not believe that Simon Peter intended for her to do these things. I said that after her conversion, she was to try to win her husband and to be subject to him. But I went on to ask her what she would do if her husband wanted her to go out and commit a robbery. Would she have to join him in that and drive the car for him? She said she was sure that the evangelist would not want her to go that far. May I say to you, her submission was to be voluntary. God certainly did not command her to engage in sinful and questionable activities, which would spoil her testimony. A Christian wife must live very carefully before an unsaved husband. Her preaching is not going to do a bit of good. That if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the behavior of the wives. In other words, she is to preach a wordless sermon by her pure life, which she lives before him, and that is nothing in the world to do with submission to him. So, with that, that concludes that section. And so, we're going to move on to next